Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm going to be doing a manga chapter review of One-Punch-Man Chapter 2. Now, for all of you new Chibits out there that do not know that I actually did a first impressions of One-Punch-Man, I will have the link in this video somewhere. You can click on the link to go back to my first impressions of One-Punch-Man. So anyways, talking about Chapter 2, and actually I want to talk a brief discussion about, this series real quick. Okay, so I currently have never read past Chapter 1 when I did my first impressions, and I was busy at the time. This is my first time I gotten around to actually reading past Chapter 1 of One-Punch-Man. Now, this is just Chapter 2. I haven't read past Chapter 2, and so, yeah, let's jump and dive right into this chapter, and let's review it. So anyways, this chapter of One-Punch-Man, very interesting. It actually has character development for our main male character. Now, I personally don't remember the real name to our main male character. I'm just going to call him One-Punch-Man, because it's been about a month or two since I've actually read Chapter 1. And so, our One-Punch-Man, our main male character, actually, we get to see his past of how he was before he became incredibly strong and does one solo hit punches to enemies and destroys them. In this chapter, you see him as a different type of character. He has hair, he wears like a high school uniform, he looks mature, like a standard person you would see in a seinen or a shonen type manga. He looks like a standard character. And the thing is we find out that he came across this crab creature, this dude that transformed into a crab because he ate too much crab meat. So, very strange and weird how this was handled. For instance, it's really interesting how humans can become monsters or creatures like a crab. Like last chapter, the first chapter was like King Piccolo. I did a complete reference to Dragon Ball Z. I was like, that dude is fucking King Piccolo. In this, pretty much you have this giant crab dude that ate too much crab. I like the designs of the villains. I really do. I like the designs. Whoever the mangaka of this series is, they really do great artwork with this series. The artwork looks really good. And once again, I will say, I laugh my ass off when I see One-Punch-Man's, character design, because it's just so plain and basic. But you look at everybody around him, they look just so badass. And I know for a fact, I think the comedy purpose of his character design is just because he's so plain and everybody around him looks so badass. Now, the main concept of Chapter 2 is just One-Punch-Man having to save this kid with a Buttface. He has a freaking Buttface. And he saves this kid because this kid drew nipples on this crab dude in the park. Permanent marker nipples. Gave him some shiny nips like Frankie style. And the crab gets pissed off because he can't remove, the nipples, because, he has claws. He doesn't have hands. He can't grab his nipples. So anyways, besides that, pretty much, you have One-Punch-Man save the day and one-shot this crab by ripping his fucking eye off. Now, that's the biggest shocker when it comes into terms of this chapter. I know this is a seinen, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. But, the gore and the violence that happened in this chapter, I was like, oh my god. Like, when you see him use his tie and wrap it around the freaking crab dude's eye and rip it off, I was like, holy shit. It was freaking crazy. It was really freaking crazy. But it looked cool. It was really cool, and I like the artwork, and I like the little backstory of how he's been training for 3 years to become incredibly strong. He lost his hair because of training and stuff like that. The big thing I wonder is what did he do for 3 years? I understand he trained, but what was he training? I know he was training his body too. That's pretty fucking obvious, fine. But what type of training did he do to become the One-Punch-Man? That's the big thing I'm wondering about. I don't know how strong this story is, for instance. I don't know if the story is amazing. I don't know if it's on that Hunter x Hunter level, which I highly doubt. But I don't know if it has a great gripping story. All I know about this manga from a bunch of people and a bunch of YouTubers that continue to recommend me this series a lot. I've had so many recommendations to read this series and review this series that I decided to break down and read Chapter 2. And I don't know if the story is going to be like this, like episodic type chapters of One-Punch-Man just one-shotting everybody, or is it going to turn into a really good story? I have no idea. But the big thing is, I don't know if this is going to be a permanent, manga series. It depends on all of you Chibits if I continue reviewing One-Punch-Man. Now, if I do review this, I'm not going to turn it into volume reviews like Berserk, because Berserk has hundreds of chapters that, I need to read volumes. But One-Punch-Man, if I'm correct, only has like 37 chapters at the moment, so I think it's, more simpler on me if I just review it by chapter, and honestly, I'm going to let you all know right now, it's up to you if I continue reviewing this or not. I mean, I like the manga. I do like it so far. I'm going to probably continue reading it. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.